All right, the wait is over. The rain is gone, and it's time to go racing. 250 laps at Martinsville. Harrison Burton on the pole, takes the inside lane, and here we go.
Already saw the accordion on that start, inside lane.
Yeah, that comes up a lot. You know, you'll see that on a lot of restarts if the tires aren't really up to temp. You know, you have a lot of wheel spin. You already see guys locking brakes up. Brakes are cold. So you're working, honestly, right when you're off pit road to get heat and pressure in your tires because we start them so low here and try to keep heat in your brakes. You'll see a lot of people doing that, and it makes a big difference on these restarts just to make sure you're up and going right away.
Allgaier started in that outside lane, but he's able to slide in third position behind Allmendinger, and here's what you guys are talking about at the start.
Yeah, I don't know if that was wheel spin or a checkup. I think they kind of went, and then they saw the green flag went out and checked up, but luckily everyone got away.
9 and 18, Hemrick Gregson. This is fitting, right?
It never fails, man. You have a spat with somebody, the next week you got to race them the entire race. So we'll see how the give and take is different here early in the race.
You know, and I would expect 4 laps into this deal that there wouldn't be much happening. You don't really want to use up your aggressive side early. You know, you want to save that, because if you run up there and move someone out of the way here on lap 4 or 5, that's a little bit too early. You want to save that for the end to where maybe that person can't really get back to you. I'm not speaking from experience, but I'm just saying.
This is the battle for 9th, 10th, 11th. The 39 is Ryan Sieg. The 2 is Myatt Snyder. Riley Herbst there as well. And this, for the top spot, as the caution comes out for the first time tonight. The 48 brings out the yellow. That's Jade Buford.
Man, before that caution came out, you could tell the 16 was really getting after it in the braking zones, and that's what we've come to see from AJ. He's so good on the brake pedal and knows how to modulate it and get the best out of his car. It's cool to see him get in the corner.
Buford running 28th when it gets away from him into the corner.
You know, that might have been a case of a little wheel hop or something. We kind of got to it too late to see the right rear, but that's not uncommon. You know, we talk about wheel hop a lot at road courses, downshifting gears. But I've wheel hopped here before. I've known some guys to wheel hop, and it's a sketchy feeling for sure, but it's the way this track is, and I'm not sure why that's what happened, but luckily he got away with it. Buford
is a noted road racer, so is A.J. Allmendinger. He nearly got the lead from Harrison Burton. We're back after a break.
You okay? The 07 just had you.
We all know when it comes to Martinsville, one of the biggest factors is where you start on the restart. Is it inside? Is it outside? The choose rule in full effect tonight, guys.
Yeah, for sure. Every time you come to Martinsville, the inside line is the preferred line. But if you can make the outside work, jump it and get it going and get in line, you can get some track position there.
It's all about risk reward, right? I mean, you know, that's just the decision that the drivers are making. You know, yeah, we communicate with our spotter a little bit on kind of how many cars are in which lane, but at the end of the day, that's driver's choice, kind of, you know, where you think's the best. If you can gain a row or two running the non-preferred lane, you're probably going to take that. So we'll see how it works out with some, especially Allgaier, who's went from third to second. We'll see how we can roll that top.
Burton leading, takes the inside lane. Allmendinger was second. He chooses inside as well. So does Justin Haley, giving up a couple of spots to restart on the inside of row number 3. Here we go once again.
Start was definitely a bit cleaner.
Austin Cindric on the move early. The 22 from 10th to 4th and looking for more.
I think Allmendinger's car looked weird there, didn't it? Like the left front's way up in the air. I don't think Allmendinger's got a problem. Sway bars, yeah, something's wrong with the sway bar.
Yeah, it's way jacked up. I just noticed that.
Inside.
The arm might be off of it. You see that?
Still there. Got a 9 with him. No hole right here. No hole.
Yeah, and once you get in that outside lane, you're reeling anyway. You magnify that with a problem, and you're going to go backwards in a hurry, Jamie.
He just said on the radio he's got a flat left front, I believe he feels like it is, guys. He's coming in. Remember, this happened to him last year in this race as well. Led a bunch of laps, and then he had a flat tire. Oh, and almost collides as he brings it to pit road.
He was able to get all 4 tires below the orange box, so he will not get a commitment line violation. Pitting under green here, you're going to lose a couple of laps, but it's early, so don't write him off just yet. And he is one of those drivers eligible for the Dash for Cash, going for $100,000 here tonight.
That's a shame. You know, that's a bad thing about no practice, right? I mean, you don't have time to check it. I don't know if the tire was flat on that thing.
Yeah.
I think there's some more issue.
Rights.
What the hell happened?
There was an accident.
How long were they in the water?
Too long.
They gonna be okay? I don't know.
911 Lone Star returns Monday, April 19th on Fox.
First things first, sports fans.
Nick is fired up.
Check and check.
Nick.
Great to have you with us live on a Friday night from Martinsville, Virginia. It's the NASCAR Xfinity Series on FS1. We apologize for our technical difficulties, but you didn't miss much. We've reached our competition caution. Second yellow we've seen tonight. Harrison Burton leading every lap so far. Justin Allgaier is second. Cindric up to third. Gregson and Snyder complete the top five. Austin Dillon, Ryan Blaney with me, Adam Alexander, will get you their observations on what we've seen in the first couple of runs of the night in a moment. First, we step aside. More to come from Martinsville. It's competition caution halfway through our opening stage for the NASCAR Xfinity Series at Martinsville. Harrison Burton is leading. The free pass goes to Matt Jaskell, and that's not good for A.J. Allmendinger, who went 2 laps down when he made an unscheduled pit stop under green, and they came in under caution. In fact, they're in now, Jamie.
Well, A.J. Allmendinger thought he had a tire going down, so they came in, they took those right sides off. Tires look absolutely fine, and he said something is broken on the front end. You saw him just go underneath the hood. They're discussing what it is right now, and if it's something they can fix before this race comes to an end.
And Ryan, you said there was an issue. It wasn't the tires, and here they are. I mean, everything looks good on those Goodyear tires, and obviously, though, when you look at him in the corner, I mean, that car is sitting down on the racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, it had to be something in the, usually when it does that, like a sway bar arms off of it, or just, I'm not 100% sure, but, they went under the hood right there and were able to look at it. So I'm curious to see what they found, if they can fix it, if they have a part to fix it. But it's going to be hard to get 2 laps back, that's for sure.
It is tough, especially at the rate that cars go a lap down here. But I will say, we can get a bunch of cautions. And if you remember at Atlanta, he went a lap down, came back, got the free pass, got to the top 5, made himself Dash for Cash eligible. So that they have had some good comebacks already this season. And now we listen in to the 9 radio following that last restart.
Just a reminder, stay closed up under yellow, and then we're coming to the restart box. They were yelling at everybody up here.
Direct warning to you. They said they'd send you to the back if you have that big a gap again. 10-4.
Brandon McReynolds, Dave Ellens, spotter and crew chief, talking to driver Noah Gregson.
Yeah, when you're on those restarts, you try and give the guy a gap for those accordion effects or to get a run to him, and that's what NASCAR tries to stop, is getting that run to somebody and putting them in a bad position. But Martinsville, it's so hard to really make a move down the front stretch anyways. But we'll see how it goes here, and definitely have to keep it in your back of your mind if NASCAR's warning you.
We're going to listen to that 19 when we return to the green flag. Burton, the race leader, takes that inside lane. Cindric goes outside, and right behind him, teammates Allgaier and Noah Gregson.
Line, green, come on. Small hold to the 2, small hold to the 2, inside, inside on your door. Inside even, outdoor, quarter, still quarter. No hole down there. Nice and smooth. Focus on your exit. 7's flipped a little there. No hole. Still inside 22. Focus on your exit. Still down there even. You see him. Got a gap right there back to the 7. Still down there even. Small gap. All right, now protect bottom. Nice and smooth. Clear by half. Clear by quarter.
Was it me, or did Cindric not fire off like we would have expected on the green flag there?
He didn't get going very good in the restart zone, but he rolled the top of Allgaier pretty good. That was the first time I think the guy, that chose the top was able to get down in second. So he did a good job there. But yeah, we've been seeing it a lot. The second place car on the outside has had a pretty big disadvantage on getting a good launch, as he's getting a lot of pressure right here.
Yeah, the 9 car is pretty good. I think the 22 can't get in the corner like he wants to right now. And when the 9 was on the outside, you're hearing that spotter talk about getting down and taking care of your tires. Ryan and I were talking about how much it hurts your tires riding on the outside before the race. The more laps you run out there, it just seems to grind them a little bit more.
Yeah, you're just running so hard. We went a lap down here last year in the first race because I was caught on the top trying to run hard to clear guys, and it just kills your stuff. So it's really important. Noah did a good job of realizing, all right, I'm not going to get the 22 on the top. He tried it for a couple laps, then be ducking behind him, and then go to work like he's doing right now.
And I think the inside is going to pay off quite nicely, because once he got the nose there, he is inside and through to the runner-up position. And perhaps that'll open the door for Allgaier, who's next in line behind the 22. What about that 7 car, Regan?
Well, Adam, keep an eye on the 7 car and the 22. When that last caution came out for the comp yellow, Justin Allgaier, very frustrated with Austin Cindric, said he's beating my back bumper off way too early in the race. Lap 20, frustration's already starting to heat up.
And Justin told me he thought this race would be more aggressive than in the fall, because points were a big factor when we came here 4 months ago. Not as much tonight, and they're already getting after it. Third caution of the night, 99 to Stephen Parsons went around from the 28th position. Free pass goes to Kyle Weatherman. And here's what happened to Stephen. Maybe a little contact there, couldn't tell. Tommy Joe Martins was behind him, it was close. Oof.
Guys did some good job saving some cars back there.
Good job missing him.
Yeah.
That looked like Stephen didn't think he was there enough, and the 44 thought he was there enough.
And now our Ford Performance track facts. One Ford winner in 35 races at Martinsville. Kenny Wallace got it done in 1994. You see Austin Cindric here. Team Penske hasn't won at this track, but obviously that's a misleading stat because we've been here so few times. And as we look at Austin Cindric, let's listen to a little 22 radio.
Do better on that. It's hard to do anything when somebody's shoving you into the corner every but damn it, sorry. But it's how it is, I guess. 20 laps in.
NASCAR Race Hub doesn't have a radioactive for the Xfinity Series, but if we did, Austin Cindric would have made the reel this week, I think. Let's go down to Jamie Little. And by the way, Jamie, while we have a chance, before you report, happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Adam. I can't imagine a better place to spend it than right here at the racetrack with you guys. But going back to Austin, and you talk about radioactive, he's like the nicest guy in the garage, so when he does get fired up and swears, he apologizes for it, as you heard there. And after he said those things, he said, well, on that restart, I tried something a little different. It didn't work. I'm going back to what I know.
Well, you'll have that. Always try something different. Don't work. Go back to what you know.
Hey, we mentioned that Kyle Weatherman got the free pass, which means A.J. Allmendinger did not. He's still 2 laps down. The 16 did make a pit stop, and we'll follow up on if they got tires or if they did not. Now the question becomes, can they hang on and be in that free pass position 14 laps from now when we end this stage? And they were also penalized on that stop. Let's listen in.
Choosing right now, and we're all the way at the back, Chris. There's no way we'll make. Tell him we know we did not fix it. We'll tell him when we fix it.
And we heard on the radio, they don't want guys holding back on these restarts, and you guys can better interpret that than me. But both David Starr and Jeb Burton have been penalized and put to the rear on this restart. That is huge for Jeb, who was doing an outstanding job of working his way to the front.
I'm not sure what.
I've never seen it.
What happened there?
Okay, it was a gap. Yeah, I mean,
We'll get exactly what the terminology was from NASCAR, but they're just saying there's too much of a gap, and you guys can interpret this better than I, but too much of a gap between you and the person in front of you on the restart.
You definitely want to close up the gap so you don't have that person like lagging off and you get a big run at them, and he must have had just too much of it and got a run and maybe gained a couple positions by doing that. Usually you don't see much of it here because there's nowhere you can really go most of the time, but unless you can get in that way, you know, create a gap and get to the bottom.
Yeah, I'd understand it at a Kansas or something where you can bail to the apron and take guys 3 wide, but yeah, here I don't really see it benefiting you. So I'm curious.
Here's the clarification that I just got. Oh, and we have trouble. Oh, Michael Annette trying to save it. Can he?
That was
He's not able to. 4th caution of the night with 11 to go in the opening stage. Guys, what I heard from NASCAR, the gap was being created when they were lining up to make their decision on high or low in relation to the choose box.
Okay. Now that makes more sense. I was confused on the restart part of it.
See what'll happen.
Watch the left rear right here on the 1.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's
wheel
hop.
starts wheel hopping bad.
Yep. Man.
You got somebody just trailing you that close. You're trying to get in the corner and gain as much as you can, and those tires start barking.
Everyone again did a great job getting out of the way, avoiding it. Pretty good.
It's funny, Justin can actually hear the one's wheel hop. I mean, out there in the race car, you can hear so much. You can hear someone wheel hopping underneath you here, and it's like, oh, I got to pick up the gas and make sure he doesn't catch me on the way into the corner.
It almost looked like the 7 did jump a little bit further in that outside lane to avoid his teammate who was spinning.
Oh, the two-wheel hop too, I think.
What usually happens is
too.
that person that goes off in there, you're going to get as much as you can to follow him off in there. That's what the 2 did, but he was able just to get a little less.
I mentioned off the top, we had 11 cautions in this race in October. We're going to have 5, at least 5, at the end of stage 1 because we've already had 4 and we know we got another one coming in less than 10
around
laps.
the outside here.
Oh, look at this. Pit road is open, and some of these teams going to flip the stage. Pit now, stay out at the end of the stage. Among them, Harrison Burton, the race leader, his teammate in as well, Jamie.
Yeah, that's Daniel Hemrick in the 18 says the balance pretty good. They started off a little snug, but the longer the run goes, the better the car is. Happy with it, a 4-tire stop. And yeah, the 22, one of those that decided to stay out. Regan?
Leader Harrison Burton decided to pit this time. Very similar to what they did in the fall race last year. They short-stopped the second stage of the race. That race car right now, the front turn is hurting them the most. He can't get the front tires to work in the center quite like he wants. He's been working with his brake adjuster all night long so far.
He's led the first 52 laps, led 81 laps here in that victory last October. Justin Allgaier makes a stop. There you see Ryan Sieg. Burton wins the race off pit road. The free pass goes to A.J. Allmendinger, who now is only 1 lap down. We're going to get another caution in 8 laps. He could very well end the stage on the lead lap after losing 2 laps with that unscheduled pit stop. That's incredible.
That was a good break for him, and it's so hard here. They're talking about they didn't fix it yet. Whatever's going on with that car, that front end. But you have no time here to fix it. By the time he gets to his box, he's already so far back in the pack. You have
He's racing the pace car every time they come down. It's amazing. I was showing Ryan, I was like, this is going to be close, just getting back around.
It's stressful, too, I'm sure, for everybody involved. Enter Clint's Fox Bet Super 6 Stage 2 contest for your chance to win $10,000 of Clint Boyer's money. Just download the app and pick 6 race outcomes about Stage 2 in the Cup Series race from Martinsville tomorrow night. It's free to play. Don't miss out and play now while there's still time left. All right, Regan, update us on the ruling that NASCAR made, spacing out when you're making the decision at the choose box.
Yeah, Adam, just to put that to rest, as we see the cars coming to the choose box right now, the problem has been the drivers are complaining that they can't stay closed up and have enough time to see the choose cone. That's where the warnings, the penalties have been coming from, as we saw Jeff Burton just getting one. His team did confirm that it was because of the choose rule, and as I hear more and more drivers, they're complaining about it on the radios. Austin, Ryan, you guys help me out here because I haven't done the choose cone so far. Is it tougher at a place like this?
Yeah, for sure. It's the first time that's really ever come up of laying back because, like Regan, you said, you can't see it. It's on the ground. And if you're 2 car lengths behind a guy, you don't know exactly where it's going to come up. You don't know where that person's picking. So you don't have a lot of time to make your decision and then not run over the box. So that's a tough one right there. So it's good to know for before tomorrow that NASCAR is keeping an eye on it.
And look at Harrison, Jeb Burton, 37th is where he will restart here. He was one of those penalized, was 8th when he got the penalty and dropped back outside the top 30. He did make a pit stop there, so he'll get a bunch of that track position back when some of these other guys pit at the end of the stage. Gregson stayed out, so did Cindric. We've got a 5-lap shootout to end stage 1. By the way, Harrison Burton, who pitted, restarted 24th. Gives you an idea of how many drivers stayed out there.
I see that 54 creeping in the picture right now already again. Ty Gibbs has done a good job at all the races that he's been in, and he's already back up front.
Started 16th, dropped back, and has now found his way into the top 5, driving around Myatt Snyder for 4th on the scoreboard.
Someone who I love watching is that 68 car, man. He is there every week in a smaller team, family-run team, and he does a great job. Everybody on that group does a great job of staying in the hunt. Brandon Brown is a really good race car driver, and he's finished 3rd at Phoenix this year, and he's showing a lot of speed right now.
Oh, Myatt Snyder gets out of the groove, and Brown goes through. Your old buddy Doug Randolph calling the shots there on the pit box, Ryan.
That's why that thing's tuned up so good. It's Doug Randolph as we see. Oh, no!
Riley Herbst spinning. It'll be our 5th caution of the night. and a traffic jam in turn 2.
You could see that building for a couple of laps there with the 254 and everybody stacking up.
Alex LeBay down there, Tommy Joe Martins, 66 of Timmy Hill. All this actually started in turn 3 when things got bunched up and Myatt Snyder went high in the 2.
I feel like the 2 thought that the 54 was going to give him a little bump back. He missed the corner, and then 36 just goes in a little too hard there with 3 guys trying to fight for the same real estate.
There's nowhere to go. It just closes up so much on the entry of these corners, and 3 wide for a second isn't going to work. So Riley was just, I think, kind of put in a bad spot with catching Myatt there, and and unfortunately got turned around, but throw some tires on it and get back after it.
So we're going to end this opening stage under caution. And the win will go to Noah Gragson, Cindric, Haley, Gibbs, Brown, Snyder, Clements, Yaley, Earnhardt, and Curry, the drivers that scored points in stage 1.
Welcome back to Martinsville Speedway. Stage 1 is in the books. We have cars on pit road. First up, Brandon Brown in the 68. Another great run for them. Car was just a little bit tight. They'll make an adjustment, a 4-tire stop for them. Meanwhile, the 22, upper left side of your screen, Austin Cindric. Balance has been good. It got better as the run went on. They'll take 4 tires here. Let's go to the front of pit road. Here's Regan Smith.
Well, the 11 car, Justin Haley, your 3rd place car right now. That car is just too tight in the center. Front tires are not working. Your leader, that 9 of Noah Gragson, is really happy with that car out front. He was a little too tight in traffic, couldn't turn like he wanted to in traffic. Once he got out front, very pleased with that race car. Said, just give me clean traffic.
And the race off pit road will go to Austin Cindric. Gragson drops 1 position, but keep in mind, as you watch all these drivers exit the pit lane in turn 2, there were 20-plus drivers that elected to make their first pit stop of the night just prior to the stage ending. They will not pit here and will cycle to the front. And I saw Brandon Brown have a problem coming in. Looks like that right front was just outside the box there, guys.
Yeah, James Houck, the front tire carrier there, he's pointing back up, because he knows that white line's trouble for them if they make an adjustment or take the wheel off. So then everything just goes away as he backs up.
And if they had serviced that car when it was outside the pit box, it would have been a 1-lap penalty. But because they stopped working on it and he backs up into the box, the only thing they lose is the time that was lost as they executed the plan. And now our mother's pit performance, and we compare Cindric and Gregson, very balanced here, but Cindric gets him by just over a second.
Yeah, they did a good job. I got my 12 guys actually pitting that car tonight, so they're getting a little practice before tomorrow. So they showing up. They did a good job out there.
I said he got him by just over a second. It was just under a second, and I only clarify that because I know there are people in the social media world that will remind me of that. So I'll just go ahead and tell you it was just under a second. A.J. Allmendinger gets the free pass. He will be back on the lead lap, bidding that they don't lose another lap here, repairing that race car. I mean, you got to work so fast here, and he did now lose a lap in this cycle, so he's already a lap down.
I think they're trying to put a sway bar arm on it, and that's tough to do when you're rushing. It's dark under the hood, got no lights.
I think they just said we're going to bite the bullet here. Now that we've got our laps back, just go down 1 because they feel they can get a lap back if they can get it fixed.
Did they get it fixed, Jamie? What do you know?
As far as I know, they have not gotten it fixed. It was a bolt nut that came off, and it made that sway bar come loose. So they were having a hard time reaching it to tighten it back up. I'll head down there and get an update on that, but right now I think they're still working on it.
To confirm, he pitted under green. They thought they had a tire issue. He lost 2 laps. They realized it was a mechanical problem, not a tire problem. They were able to get the free pass, get both those laps back because we had so many cautions. But now they've gone a lap in arrears again as they made that extended stop, and we'll continue to follow their progress. And now we get ready for this restart.
You know, we're going through the choose right now, and I just want to go back on what happened earlier. There are some cones in the fence right here that allow the drivers to kind of have a heads up of what's coming. And then also, when you do the math, everything adds up. NASCAR doesn't want to lose another lap trying to get things sorted out here. If everybody lags back, keeps lagging back, they got to throw the caution. We got to take a whole nother lap around. So don't want to lose any laps when we can.
I mentioned some strategy playing out. Brett Moffitt, who got married in our off weeks. Congratulations to him. Will be the leader. He made a pit stop at lap 27, has stayed out since then. Allgaier came at lap 52. He goes outside for the restart as we begin our second stage.
And he got first and second in the stages there. Cindric and Gregson, they're 14th and 15th. So we'll see how quickly they can come up through the field. There's not many laps on the guys that, you know, pitted before the stage ends. So I'll be curious to see what kind of ground they can make up.
Burton was the dominant car early after starting on the pole. You saw him making a big move. The 19 is Brandon Jones. Haven't seen him tonight. And the 8 is Josh Berry, driving for Junior Motorsports. Unbelievable late model racer. Won a huge event here a couple of years ago, leading all 200 laps. Now he's got track position racing for the 3rd spot, and he gets it as Allgaier gets sideways.
I actually can't believe we haven't talked to Josh to this point. I mean, he's just snuck up on us. He's a short track specialist, and tonight he's going to be one of those guys you got to watch in the 8.
You got the Burton side by side here. Jeb making a nice comeback after getting that penalty. He pitted with these guys, and he's carving up through the field. So, I like Jeb tonight. I think he's going to do really good here as this track starts to come to him.
A little motivation, too, man. You just drive a little harder when you get angry, things don't go your way.
That's right.
He's going forward.
I'll say this, though. He's been patient because he started 13th and had to wait for his time, and he's doing it. And here we go. New leader. It's Brandon Jones around Brett Moffitt. He does have fresher tires, and right behind him, here comes the aforementioned 8 of Josh Berry. He is so good at Martinsville.
Yeah, and you talk about Josh Berry a lot. He's a short track guy for Dale Jr. He gets a great chance. So you might hear him run this Xfinity car for him. He does an awesome job, and I would really think highly of him, especially at a place called at Martinsville, because he's such a great short track racer, and he's showing us tonight.
Yeah, and out of all the places, he's probably the most comfortable here with the laps, with his late model. And I don't know if he's won a late model race here. It'd be good to know, but he's doing a good job right now.
Not only has he won a late model race here, he led all 200 laps here a couple of years ago.
There you go.
And I asked him about racing here in the Xfinity car. Does he feel any pressure to take advantage of the opportunity? he's trying to put that behind him, and I think he feels like the experience they've gotten already this year in the Xfinity car will help them tonight at a track where he has been so good. The Burton cousins nose to tail, 10 and 20, 6th and 7th on track. That's Jeb and Harrison.
So something I've noticed, and it doesn't help that we've had a ton of cautions, the track isn't really taking much rubber. It's got a little bit on it, but you need long runs. You need 30, 40 lap runs, and granted, the first couple stages in this race aren't that long, but that's just keeping the track from changing. I see a lot of guys sliding the rears out, and that's because this track's usually a lot freer when it's green like this, and when it starts to rubber up, it gets tighter as Daniel Hemrick really starts making good moves here. But I'd be curious to see when it starts rubbering down and figuring out as cars start changing. That's something we really look for in our Cup cars, but you just need long runs and laps to make that change.
Yeah, you'll see some different characters come and go when that starts happening and the rubber really starts to take into this track.
Battle for 15th, Justin Haley in the 11, that orange 90, making his Xfinity debut. George Gorman Jr. from Lakeland, Florida.
Clear now.
Remember, Ty Gibbs had made a pit stop. He's on the move again. And Josh Berry trying to get to the top of the leaderboard for the first time tonight. No problem. He passes Brandon Jones, new leader. It's the 8 car.
Nice.
You can see it kind of coming. He seems like he can take his car and just be a little wider on entry. I know it's crazy. You talk about Martinsville pay-per-click, point and shoot, but he's got a little bit of different arc getting into the corner, and I think it allows him to be a little straighter leaving.
Brakes glowing on everybody's cars, using them up. That's a big thing too. You don't want to burn your brakes up early in this race. You see a lot of it. We talk a lot about saving tires, saving brakes as Jeb tries to get another spot here from Ryan Sieg. You turn your fans on everything like that, just try to save them, but at the same time, you don't want to give up too much and lose all this track position.
My grandfather always comes on the radio, no matter what, and tells me my brakes are glowing. And usually what we found out is when the brakes are glowing, they're working. But you don't want them not to glow. You want them as cool as possible, but when they're glowing, sometimes it's your best laps.
This is a nice battle here. Sieg is 5th. Jeb Burton going by for that position. And don't look now, but back behind him, the 9 car, who just made a pit stop. Noah Gragson working his way back toward the front.
And how Ryan Sieg can hang in that second lane kind of gives me a little bit of thought of, all right, maybe it's getting a little slick as we listen to some Austin Cindric radio.
How we talked about how Blaney's so good here, get to the curb and roll at speed early in the corner. That's what the 9 looks like.
Oh, a little Ryan Blaney love on a Friday night.
Tell him of my secrets.
Roll speed early to the entry. I'm going to take that.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to give any of my secrets to Austin or anybody like this. But I've always, found it best just to be on the curb, as close as I can get to the curb early, roll it all the way through, and then come off as low as I can on exit. It's kind of the way I've been able to work here, and that just helps as the track takes rubber. You kind of get under the rubber, so that's a line that I've kind of found working for me, and I actually like watching guys do different lines. Gosh, looks like Brandon Jones has
he's fired back off here.
He's gotten good.
And we'll see how Berry manages the lap traffic. The 13 is Matt Jaskell, making his first ever start in the Xfinity Series. How about that race leader, Regan?
Well, the 8-car, Josh Berry, interestingly enough, that same race team finished 4th here in the fall with Jeb Burton. I asked crew chief Taylor Moyer if they changed very much. He said, we kept the setup very similar, but with all of Josh's late model experience here, we did look at his late model setup just a little bit and incorporated some of that into it. So that's a pretty cool little fact about that car right now. Jamie.
And the guy behind him, Brandon Jones, said last time they were here, they were not good and they got worse as the race went on. So they brought a different package here, different approach. Now he's already led some laps, running second now. They told me they'd be happy with the top 6 or 7th. I think they're running a little bit better than that so far.
And I would say maybe a chance for Brandon Jones here to go to school on that 8 of Josh Berry.
That was a big wheel hop. You see that left rear? He saved it, but we're seeing a lot of wheel hop tonight. I wonder why that is. You don't see it here very often as we got a battle for the lead.
I mean, these two really going at it since the restart.
The 19 can really rotate the center of the corner fast. He can carry a lot of speed right now. And, you know, I've heard a lot of good things about Brandon. Brandon's been working hard. My brother told me he's in the simulator a lot, putting a lot of time in. So it's paying off right now.
Maybe he should just go talk to his Cup teammates. Denny Hamlin's decent here. Kyle Busch is pretty good here. Oh, yeah, Truex is good here. And now the caution, and it's rain. We knew it was getting close. And, well, it looks fairly heavy. We were halfway through this second stage and just unable to get to the end, which would have made this race official.
You know, I was really happy to come up here and hang out for this race.
30 laps.
The rain showed up. Well, we'll hang out here till we get a window.
We're not going to lose you early, are we?
I mean, you know, I got some stuff to do. I got
the race
dinner reservations, all that stuff.
The race isn't until 8 o'clock tomorrow night, the Cup race. You guys have all kinds of time. Sixth caution of the night is for rain at Martinsville. Brandon Jones is leading on the short track.
Darn.
How do you reset from a driver perspective after having nearly 48 hours away from the race car, and as you guys said, knowing things are going to be totally different today?
Well, you know, you have to be able to jump right back in that mindset. You know, I mean, everyone does it. We have plenty of experience with rain delays or whatever. And especially now with no practice, it's almost just like, boom, you're lining up to race again, just like what you were supposed to on Friday night. So I think everyone's mindset is, you know, just go back racing, see what the track's going to change like. And, you know, these drivers and crew chiefs are good enough to really be ahead on that.
Yeah, some of the problems you were fighting in the nighttime today are going to change. So hopefully when the track settles in, you see the rubber lay down, you make the right adjustments when you come down pit road.
The cars are rolling. It's about time to go racing once again. Let's hear from our pit reporters. We start with Jamie Little. Hello, Jamie.
Hey, Adam. Well, one of the drivers you guys talked about was A.J. Allmendinger. They had a problem the other night. The bolt had fallen off this sway bar, making it come loose. Now it's an easy, quick fix if they had the time. They can't get underneath the hood and get it fixed in time. So they're trying to do that right now. He's already come in one time. If they can get it fixed and he doesn't go another lap down, he could be in the hunt for the $100,000 dash for cash and the win. If they don't get it fixed, though, it's going to make for a long race today behind the wheel. Regan Smith?
Well, Jamie, it's a tale of two races for Josh Berry. Friday night, the goal was track position from their 29th starting spot. Now today, they're in second place with a fast race car. The goal has shifted strictly to winning this race. They believe they're good enough to do that and get Josh Berry his first Xfinity win.
He led laps here the other night, Regan. First time he had ever been out front in an Xfinity car in his career. And now we get our Firehouse race analysis. This is the reset for the roughly 150 laps we'll have here today. Stage 1, stage 2, 60 laps. So we'll have about 25 laps or so to the end of this second stage when we get going once again under the green flag. And as we pointed out in our highlight reel there, Noah Gragson won the opening stage. He was on a little bit of a different pit cycle, so we lost that track position. He will restart 8th here. And by the way, these guys are out running around. I mean, this race is officially back underway. These caution laps count, and now the drivers just getting settled in. And the first thing we'll look at is the choose. Do you go high? Do you go low? And that was a huge factor the other night in this race.
Yeah, it is. You know, we saw Jeb Burton have an issue with it in, you know, laying back too far. It'll be interesting to see, you know, how NASCAR monitors all that stuff. But I've always felt like when the track has no rubber like this, that it's kind of difficult for the top to really get going, especially when your pressures are low and things like that. The top seems to be pretty good when there's some rubber on the track because the bottom's slipping a little more, but it's something to definitely keep your eye on throughout the race.
Jamie mentioned our Dash for Cash drivers. A.J. Allmendinger 1 lap down. He's going to restart 39th here. And up front, the best of the bunch is Harrison Burton. He restarts 6th. Noah Gragson is 8th. And right now on my monitor, Justin Allgaier being shown in the 27th position. Evidently, he came down pit road there. We'll follow up, see exactly what's going on with that 7 car as we get going. The green flag back out at Martinsville.
Brandon Jones's car was really good when we left this race from the rain. He could turn really good, and I wonder if the heat changes, if he frees up, tightens up. You know, he talked about the struggles he had the last time. That was a day race, and now a little trouble here to start.
Ryan Vargas busted up the front end. He's able to get to pit road. We stay green. Hemrick making the outside lane work. Jeb Burton up to third. That's a guy that really impressed us the other night.
Hemrick did a great job there of pinching Brandon Jones down on exit. That's a big thing, because if Brandon Jones is against the curb, you can't go any lower. You're going to hit the curb and kind of upset your car. So Daniel did a good job of making sure he didn't have any room on exit while giving him maybe a 6 inches. It just puts Brandon Jones kind of in a tough spot. He did a great job of clearing himself on the top.
At 9, and Noah Gregson also making the outside lane work a little bit here.
Yeah, racing with Josh Berry, we saw him the other night, how good he was getting to the front. I think it's another experience that he loves this place, and when the sun's out, the short track racers usually shine.
Ford Performance onboard camera. Austin Cindric won the championship a season ago. He's won at nearly every type of racing venue in the Xfinity Series, but not on a short track.
And, you know, Austin does a great job in that 22 car. Brian Wilson, the crew chief, you know, they won the championship last year. They're really great at figuring out how to progress through the race. That's something they do really well, and I will look for them to be contenders by the end of this thing.
We mentioned he's never won on a short track. This guy's never won anywhere. Daniel Hemrick, so many times in the runner-up position, but he's out front today at Martinsville and feeling good with 19 laps to go in the second stage. What's going on with Allgaier? I think they pitted there before we went green, Regan.
Adam, you're correct. They did make a pit stop right there. Actually, a planned pit stop that they talked about doing last night. They weren't overly happy with that race car, wanted to make some adjustments. Adjustments only, no tires on the 7 car.
So that would mean they have 2 sets of tires left. Everybody given 3 sets in the pits for total for this race when we began on Friday night. And apparently the adjustment worked, because he was 27th when I looked at the scoring monitor originally as we went green. Allgaier up to 17th now, and Ty Gibbs on the move around his teammate.
You know, you see a lot of guys being aggressive early in this run, and I think you can get away with that. You know, we only have 15 laps to go until the stage break, and everyone's going to put tires on. The green racetrack is going to chew these tires away, so you can really push your stuff hard. You know, you don't have to settle in and try to save your stuff if you're thinking you're going to have a 90-lap run or something like that. So everyone's really, you know, using their brakes a lot right now and their tires, just because they know they can get away with it.
Brakes. Go ahead, Austin.
Yeah, I was just saying that allows you to make a good adjustment. The 92 here has got a tire down. Oh, Justin's trying to get out of his way. You just have nowhere to go here.
Myatt Snyder in the 2. That's the 92 of Josh Williams. And I think we found out how the tire got cut, guys.
So it's kind of what I said earlier with Hemrick and the 19. Okay, yeah, you want to pinch that guy off the corner, but you don't want to do it that much to where he bounces off the curb into you. So you kind of saw a bit of both worlds right there on running the top and kind of, you know, not giving that guy a lot of space.
7th caution is eventually Josh Williams spins out. And with 15 laps to go in the stage, as we watch him save it here, I'm curious, we saw some teams flip the stage the other night when we got the caution late in stage 1. That gains you that track position when you go green at the beginning of the next stage. Do you anticipate we'll see that here, guys?
Yeah, I would be surprised if people pit here, because even when you go back green, it's going to be at least 10 laps to go, and you don't want those 10 laps on your tires, especially with the track is still pretty green. So I don't really see anyone pitting here and try to jump like we saw the other night. I think there was less laps the other night, but if I'm a crew chief, I'm leaving my driver.
And in the Xfinity Series, you don't really have the sets of tires like we have in the Cup Series to take advantage of that. So you want to save that set for cautions later in the race.
Josh Williams was having a great day. He was racing Myatt Snyder for 10th when he got the tire cut down. NASCAR determined he intentionally spun to cause the caution, so he's going to get a 1-lap penalty. Bad news for him. Good news for A.J. Allmendinger. Caution comes out. He gets the free pass. 16 going to be back on the lead lap. They were 2 laps down early in this race. If he can make a comeback, it would be big. Pit road is open, and we do have some takers. Among them, Brandon Jones. Let's go down to Jamie Little.
And Brandon Jones said that despite the sunshine, his car fired off just like it did the other night, a little bit snug, so they wanted to make an adjustment to help him there. There it is, the wrench in the rear windshield. 4 tires, the 22 of Austin Cindric in his pit box for fresh tires as well. Regan?
Well, the 20 car, Harrison Burton, on the left side of your screen, they decided to go ahead and pit here, much like they did last year. They did this exact same thing right before stage 2 in the fall race. Want to see if that's going to work out for him. A couple small adjustments, and Josh Berry sliding back to the 5th position. They decided to pit as well, so they will hopefully not have to pit during the stage break.
And all those drivers that just pitted, they have one set of tires left. You would anticipate somewhere middle of the final stage they will come, but one thing we know for sure, they will inherit track position when this stage ends. We're under caution for the 7th time. Only 9 laps to go. There will be 8 remaining in stage 2. When we return to the green flag, Daniel Hemrick, the race leader. Jeb Burton is second. The rest of the top 5, Noah Gragson, Jeremy Clements, Michael Annett. Strategy being played out here. The top 16 cars stayed out. And Austin Cindric, the first off the pit lane after coming moments ago, he restarts in the 17th position. That surprised you guys?
Yeah, a lot of people came, you only have 1 set left, but I'm really interested to see this battle for this extremely important stage point here between Jeb and Daniel Hemrick up front. I know these guys are going to battle for it hard.
Gregson trying to sweep the stages. He won stage 1 here on Friday night.
Little tire spin out of the 10 car there. Hemrick kind of let him go, kind of get nosed ahead, and then he just waited in the box until Jeb had to check up. That was a really smart move by the 18.
I'm just rooting for Gregson to get through so we can have first and second Hemrick and Gregson, why not?
We'll make a good storyline, that's for sure.
Jeb's going to battle hard as he can right here on the outside. With only 7 to go, you're going to come get tires, try and keep position, but it's hard out there like Blaney talked about. It's slick early.
Gregson gets by for second, but you have to salute Jeb Burton and his effort because they didn't have a great starting position after some problems late in the race at Atlanta. He drove from 13th up inside the top 10. Then they had that penalty, took him back outside the top 30. He has reestablished that track position. That 10 car looks really good for Team Colleague. 5 laps to go on the stage. Tommy Joe Martins racing with Stephen Parsons. This is for 6th. J.J. Yaley is there, and so is George Gorham Jr. making his debut in the 90 for Mario Gosling.
With this pit strategy, it gives a lot of guys who might not normally get stage points to go get some, and that might help, you know, obviously their point situation, but it's nice to see, you know, some new faces here in the top 10 with that different pit strategy.
Yeah, it seems like Josh Berry's the one that's made the most ground and kind of cleared some of this traffic and put himself in a good position when we fire back off and see if he can get a stage point here right coming down to the end.
Yeah, Berry's worked his way to 12th since the restart. Justin Haley next in line of those drivers that pitted. He is 13th. There you see the 11. They're racing behind Virginia's own Gray Golding in the 52.
3 more here. Still your bumper cover outside, clear. 2 come with you, half back. 15 back out there a little bit. Still out there, in the 07. Couple more here, right rear, all clear, all clear.
That's Tim Fiedel, a spotter for Riley Herbst. He'll work with Kevin Harvick later today. Cup Series on FS1, they resume 4 p.m. Eastern Time. 1 lap to go in our second stage from Martinsville. The leader is Daniel Hemrick. Gregson, Jeb Burton, Michael Annett, Jeremy Clements, the top 5. Clements getting stage points is big. They came in 9th in the standings. He has had an unbelievable start to 2021, but the stage victory going to go to the 18. Daniel Hemrick gets it done. Gregson gets points. So does Burton. Annett, we talked about Clements. Tommy Joe Martin, Stephen Parsons, J.J. Yaley, Gorham, and Berry complete the top 10. We're almost halfway home at Martinsville for the Xfinity Series.
After Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, and Edge collide in the main event of WrestleMania, who will prevail as Universal Champion? It's an all-new Friday Night SmackDown, live at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Fox.
Are you ready for a good time? Then get ready for the nightlife.
Looking forward to that. We're also looking forward to the final stage at Martinsville for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Daniel Hemrick able to win Stage 2, his 3rd stage victory of the year. And he and most others in the top 10 are going to come down and get a pit stop here because they stayed out when we got that caution just prior to the stage ending. They're heading your way, Jamie.
And Daniel Hemrick comes in, says he's a little bit tight. He's got a visitor on his pit box. Denny Hamlin watching on right now. He'll be racing at 4 o'clock today. They're going to make a wedge adjustment there and a 4-tire stop for Hemrick. The 51, Jeremy Clements. 3 top 10s already this year, having a nice top 5 run so far in this race. A 4-tire stop and wedge adjustment for the 51, Regan.
Well, the great recovery continues for Jeff Burton in the 10 car. That car is a little bit too tight in the center right now. Needs the front tires to work better. And the 9 up, Noah Gregson. His race car is good. He doesn't want any changes, but a lot of discussion about the rubber going onto the racetrack and how much of it's going down already.
Good start to the day for Gregson after winning stage 1 on Friday. Second in stage 2. And he's second off the pit lane to J.J. Yaley, who went no tires. He does get out in front of Hemrick, who won that stage. Let's hear from driver 18. And now we understand the team is talking to him. And that gives us an opportunity to say that his crew chief is Dave Rogers, who won here with Denny Hamlin in a Cup car a number of years ago. Let's talk to that stage winner, Austin.
Yeah, let's see if we can't dial him up. Daniel Hemrick, this is Austin Dillon in the booth. Congratulations on winning the stage, man. I see you got your buddy Noah in front of you. Let's see how you get up through there in the traffic.
I never would have thought you'd have brought that up. I feel good, man. We got a really good Pommy Ping Toyota Supra. Dave Rogers told me a couple months ago that he had me covered when we came to here, and he wasn't lying. This thing's really good. So, third, 2/3 of this thing. Let's go see if we can get the rest of it finished up.
Thanks for chatting with us, Hemrick. Good luck in the rest of the race. Me and Blaney, we're out here pulling for you.
I appreciate it, guys. Y'all enjoy the show. And didn't know if anybody's seen that sun thing we have. It's not too bad.
Hey, by the way, now this race is official. We've made it to the end of stage 2. So if something goes totally wrong, we know that we're all good in the Xfinity Series. The final stage on the way. It's the NASCAR Xfinity Series live on FS1. Round 1, 2021 of the Dash for Cash. These are the 4 drivers going for the bonus $100,000. Don't have to win the race today, just have to finish the best amongst this foursome. Right now, Harrison Burton leading the way. He scored 10th. Allgaier's up there in the top 15. Gregson is 21st. Allmendinger has had problems. He is 34th. And restarting third here is going to be Justin Haley. Let's check in on him.
I could do like a cool 3-wide maneuver under the 44 if I took bottom, but I'll go top.
Okay. Hey, man, it's up to you. I'm just here for guidance and suggestions, whatever your gut's telling you.
I don't know about 3-wide maneuver. It's a little early in the race.
I want to see it.
Yeah. Hey, brave move from Tommy Joe Martins. He stays out, and he's leading the race. Let's listen in to Justin Haley and see what kind of move he makes as we start the final stage.
Still out there. 3 wide.
And he did it.
3 wide. Still 30, bottom 3. 98's out there. Still out there, 98 only. Clear.
That's pretty good when you call your shot and make it happen. He had a great launch on the restart and pulled it out 3 wide on the guy with older tires there with Tommy Joe.
Tommy Joe slid back to 4th from the lead, and they're beating on his back bumper. Austin Cindric is there. So is Ty Gibbs, Harrison Burton, Myatt Snyder on the move.
Yeah, it's the tough part when you have all these mixed strategies, you know, and guys staying out and stuff. It just kind of creates roadblocks as the 54 and 22 beat bang down the straightaway.
Now, all that's good news for Josh Berry, who has played the strategy quite nicely and has the lead as we head toward 100 laps to go. I'll say this is great, though. You got a small team like Tommy Joe Martins. Diamond Gusset Jeans is the sponsor. They don't get a ton of TV time. They're getting it now. I know he's going in the wrong direction, but this is a good chance for that team to spend some time at the front of the field and get some recognition.
Yeah, man, he's out there letting it hang out on the outside, doing all he can to keep his track position. Those guys were beating and banging because they want to figure out the preferred groove is to figure out how to get by him. Now they got him kind of shucked to the outside.
Ty Gibbs, just touched it. Be all right. Composite bodies.
They bounce right back.
Yeah.
You guys wish you wish you had them later on, right?
I sure do. And you know, this is, whoa, that's a lot of contact. This is what I was talking about. You know, there's a bunch of mixed strategies, some slower cars up at the front with older tires. It log jams. I mean, it's just a complete log jam, and you can't go anywhere. And you can't go 3 wide here without contact. You're going to hit somebody, and it makes it really frustrating. So the guys that got tires that last stage, they're trying to fight through this. And you see Daniel Hemrick has damage. You know, that just is a stack up, and it's just really hard to get through there without any cosmetic damage to your car.
Everybody should have 1 set of tires remaining now, and we would anticipate, you know, if we get a caution somewhere in the middle of this final stage, that's when most would come down and utilize that final set. Fuel, not an issue here. The fuel window is wide open at Martinsville because it's such a short track, so that won't be something anyone is concerned with.
And he had a hard hit there to bow the hood like that. It's quite a bit of damage on the 18.
What does that do to the car from a driving perspective? And we're going to get a caution here. Colby Howard goes around in the 15. 19 years old from South Carolina. Started racing in the Xfinity Series for Johnny Davis last year. Was 20th when he spun around and backed into the wall.
So yeah, it's just one of those deals. Colby was, he got a shot, and he.
Kyle Weatherman in the 47.
I think he got dumped.
He didn't want to get in there that hard. Yeah, 47 said we're going into the corner.
Yeah, that's.
Where do you find grip? Where do you find grip when your rear tires are off the track? That's
when you hit the wall.
There you go. Josh Berry leading at Martinsville. If you're a NASCAR fan, you know that Martinsville, Virginia is home to Martinsville Speedway, but did you know it is also home to the Virginia Museum of Natural History? And if I look closely here, I see some interesting guests. Brandon Jones, Jamie Little, Noah Gregson, checking things out.
Virginia has a lot of history, you know. It's got Wood Brothers Racing, Stewart, Martinsville hot dogs. That's a national treasure.
That's definitely a historic moment. You should always try to get a Martinsville hot dog.
Daniel Hemrick wins that second stage. A little banged up right now, Jamie.
Yeah, and he's been talking to his team. Dave Rogers' crew chief, Tony Hirschman, his spotter, and they're saying the good news is the nose looks good. So the temperatures are good. He's at about 240 water temp right now. They said it's just buckled on the sides. They're kind of just letting him know what it's looking like, but there's no concern down here. Definitely saying it's not terrible.
That's the kind of car that should win at Martinsville, isn't it? I mean, that's what your car should look like when you celebrate next to that grandfather clock. Restart should be good. Barry on the front row with Haley, and the 011 got pretty aggressive last time we went green.
He looked pretty strong too. He was able to keep up with Barry throughout that run, so see if he can get in line here as fast as he can.
Here's what happened. Watch middle of your screen. Contact with Hemrick and Michael Annette over in the corner.
That's just classic Martinsville checkup, middle pack.
The accordion effect.
Keeping on that 98 inside. Riley Herbst having a really good day.
Watch your bottom outside, 22, watch your bottom. 54 is all over you, 2x2 here. Go force outside. Outside here. 54 trying to get inside, guard your bottom.
Nearly 3 wide again. Ty Gibbs is great on restarts.
I'll tell you what I've seen from Ty Gibbs today. He is aggressive on restarts, especially. He ain't afraid to give you the bumper, door you a little bit, and that's what you got to have at Martinsville. But man, he's on it today, and it's been fun to watch him.
Hey, but think about what he's done this year, Ryan. 2 starts, overtime. He wins on the final restart on the road course at Daytona. A 2-lap shootout to end it in Phoenix when he finished second. So, as you said, he's aggressive, Austin. He's not afraid.
Yeah, he can't mess up his average finish. The guy's only finished second at worst, I think. So, I mean, he's getting up there to improve his average finish.
Only 2 drivers have started their Xfinity Series career with a first and second place finish. Terry Labonte, the Hall of Famer, and Jody Ridley. That's pretty impressive company there. Harrison Burton starting to make his way back to the front. Led the first 52 laps from the pole on Friday night.
You know, speaking of what Ty Gibbs has been able to do, he's doing it on all different types of tracks too. Road courses, short tracks, it's just a variety of places that he's been able to go and run well at.
And your brother Ty, the other Ty, going to be running that car at Talladega. And I just hope he has some good fortune, because it seems like every time he gets in that car, something goes wrong for that team. Wrong place, wrong place. You know what I'm trying to say here. They just can't find their way. And you know what? He's going to have a real opportunity to make something happen at Talladega.
Yeah, he's a pretty good speedway racer himself. So I'm looking forward to seeing him in that car. It's fast, and he'll do a good job there.
So we saw this the other night. Josh Berry was leading. He was able to stretch out his lead a little bit. And then I felt like as the run went on, his car fell off a little bit. Now, whether that's, you know, his tires just kind of get old, if his car doesn't do well with the rubber. But I'm curious to see how his car changes and reacts here as we get more green flag laps.
Yeah, and as the sun has come out, you know, being at night, his car might be reacting to this better than where Brandon Jones, say, the other night. He was turning the center better, and Josh seems like his car is really good right now. Got one turned around.
This is Brandon Godovick in the 26 for Sam Hunt Racing. He was top 10 in the season opening race at Daytona, best run of his career. And this organization with 3 consecutive top 15 finishes, with Santino Ferrucci behind the wheel, and perhaps another piece of the puzzle in that spin is the 15 of Colby Howard, who's got that bumper cover torn off. Let's watch and see what happens here.
Got a little help from the 51.
You know, we were talking about Santino Ferrucci, And he's done an unbelievable job driving for Sam Hunt. Going to run the Indy 500 for Bobby Rahal. He was the Rookie of the Year at Indianapolis last year. Oh. Our Snap Mobile onboard camera feeling the effects of that one.
He did a good job saving that, really.
He did a good job. He jacked up and wheel hopping and did a good job saving it. I think he broke something, actually. Traction he broke. Crazy.
Too early to put on that final set of tires. Everybody stays out, so we will step aside and come back with 96 to go.
Looking for a tempting treat? Hold on till I absorb some heat. Some added tang might please you too. I'll slide into an oven-fresh bun, and I'm ready for your eating fun.
Mmm, delicious.
It's a creative bunch at Fox NASCAR, and I'm sad to report that COVID has taken away the infield hot dog stand.
It's terrible.
COVID.
It's terrible. I used to have a couple after the race on the way home, and it's a good after-race snack.
I noticed you didn't eat them before the race.
I think some of these guys might have ate them before the race. They're shaking and baking out there.
Oh, ornery today.
He's getting to them.
Josh Berry is the leader for the restart. Regan?
Hey, fun conversation on Josh Berry's radio. Just now, 92 laps to go. It's time to take and not give. Listen to this.
This is totally up to you. Like, you start at the top, and he'll make sure he gives you the bottom.
I think that's above my pay grade. I mean, wouldn't surprise me one bit if he...
Do not do that. We're not doing that. Sorry.
They were trying to do the old switcheroo, and you can't trust nobody with under 100 laps to go. You're racing for it now.
I thought that might have been out the window, with the choose rule and all that. We've seen that a lot over the years. I thought that might have cleaned up people trying to do that.
Yeah, especially from different teammates too, right?
Right.
Cindric did a good job getting second from the top there.
He's been slow and methodical in working his way to the front.
He has. He was sticking with the 8 and the 11 there that last run, and matching their lap times, and they were kind of swapping who's quicker. And I'll be curious to see what they have made changes on this 22 car to see what they can do here at the end of this race.
Maybe the 22 was foreshadowing. If he would have given him the bottom, he won't use the bumper as much. But now he said no. What does that change the relationship?
We might find out.
Mind games. Harrison Burton is going to have something to say about who wins this race too, and he might take home $100,000. He's the leader right now of those drivers going for the dash for cash. 3 of them in the top 10, and A.J. Allmendinger right now 21st as he tries to overcome some adversity.
These guys have been having a heck of a battle. The 2, 98, 9's creeping back up in the picture after pitting there.
Myatt Snyder pretty good here.
Yeah, 2 might have put the old bumper to the 98 into 3 that last lap. That's post bumper.
But you could tell by the way the car jumped out of line that he was maybe getting shoved from behind.
Yeah, Myatt felt like it was time to go. I like seeing the aggressiveness.
We were on board, now we watch from high above. That didn't work out too good for Allgaier either. 7 car trying to win back-to-back. Got his first victory of the campaign a few weeks ago at Atlanta, and more problems for Riley Herbst. Looks like does he have a tire going down?
He might have had the tire going down the whole time.
Left rear's down.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to probably end what was an outstanding day going. Was looking for his 3rd consecutive top 10 finish, was running 9th, and now a pit stop under green with 85 to go, and he'll be at least a couple of laps down to the leader. Teammates going at it here. The 20 is Harrison Burton, the 54, Ty Gibbs. And there's another team car behind him, Brandon Jones in the 19.
Yeah, Ty Gibbs' car is really good right now. We know Harrison Burton, he led some laps the other night, won this race last year. Obviously his car is going to be pretty good, and Ty is running really well too.
The 19's creeping back in the picture too. A guy that was really fast the other night. You can see he's being able to run that curve on around the corner and have that low straight exit. It's pretty good.
Well, he told Jamie the other night after the red flag when he was leading, my goal was kind of to finish 6th or 7th, and they're certainly outperforming their goal. And this has not been a place that's been great to him over the years, regardless of what series he's running in. But today, and piggybacking on what he did on Friday night, looking much better than he has in the past. And Hemrick with damage, trying to jump back inside the top 15. That's the 68 of Brandon Brown he's trying to get around.
I've seen a lot of 3 wide moves today. More than I've seen in a while here at Martinsville. Guys taking it 3 wide. And I like the aggression. These guys are fired up today. They've been sitting around for a day and a half, so they're ready to go racing.
Allgaier to 9th. 02 is Brett Moffitt.
I think Justin's car is just a little tighter than he wants it to be. You can see how he leaves the car. It looks like he has a lot of wheel in it leaving the exit.
Cindric is 2nd, and he's not going away at the front right now, Jamie.
He's not. Well, going back to Friday night, Adam, he had his worst start of the year, 6th. And he worked his way to the front, and he tried something different on the restart, and it cost him quite a few spots. Well, it's taken him some time to get back to the front. And what they've done to that car today, air pressure is all. He has been slow and methodical, just like you said.
That's got to be hard here. When you know you have a good car and you're used to running up front and winning like he has, already 2 victories this year, to be patient, especially in a sprint race like this.
He's doing a good job right now rolling the curb.
Oh, tough break here. Tommy Joe Martins, who was 11th. Looks like he maybe has a tire problem. Not sure what's going on there, but another unscheduled pit stop. This one inside of 80 laps remaining.
That's a shame. He was doing a really good job. He was running 10th or 11th there for a long time, and that's a shame for that team after having a really good day.
The climb continues for Daniel Hemrick, who's back to 11th now, driving by Jeb Burton in the 10.
If anywhere you want to have damage, you can get away with it here at Martinsville.
And I want you to watch the 22. He's fading up a little bit more in the corner than the 8, and he's angling his car down. And so he gets a lot straighter drive off the corner, and I feel like that's just helping his straightaway speed, and I think it's also helping his tires because he's driving straighter off. So his car is really, I think it's turning a lot better than the H right now, and it's starting to show up.
And that track's starting to gain a little rubber. You can see a little bit of a black groove laying down. That's when you can start moving around like the 22 is and kind of searching.
Cindric made his first ever NASCAR start here in the Truck Series for Brad Keselowski at age 17. And we're going to get another caution. And there it is. Blaine Perkins in the 23-07 of Joe Graff Jr. And I would say with 75 to go, the door might be open here for pit stops. Here's what happened to bring out the yellow flag. Yes, it's starting to get a little more aggressive.
2 for 1.
2 for 1 special. You can get over at clearances.
Right up the road.
I'm just interested at the various levels of damage that you get at this place. I mean, Hemrick's is somewhat minor, and obviously he's still got a pretty fast car, and we're starting to graduate up the spectrum, right? Because these cars starting to look more and more beat up.
Yeah, I think you need to do Xfinity Radioactive this week.
Nope.
I'm going to say that right now for Fox.
Well,
let's hear some radio.
Yeah, here's a preview.
Yeah.
Come on. Still inside. Had about enough of that.
47 just junked us here.
Dumb.
Hey, man, he jumped down in front of me and slammed on his brake.
Oh, I love it.
That's normal. You know, that's normal right here at this racetrack. It's you get fired up.
I don't want to be mean, but I mean, you know, Blaney, you were a radio sweetheart on a regular basis a couple of years ago. But I mean,
you know, I got a trophy actually for that.
That's right, you did.
I appreciate that. It's in my house, Radio Sweetheart of the Year, and I hold that one proudly. I haven't defended my title, which I'm probably pretty proud of, but yeah, I got that trophy.
Don't you hate it when people jump down in front of you and slam on the brakes?
You know, yeah, that's part of it. Jump down in front of you and slam on the brakes. I don't know who that was.
A free pass here under our 11th caution goes to Josh Williams, who's 34th, had that problem earlier. And he was actually penalized that lap. He's got it back now. And now our Xfinity fastest lap, best of the bunch, Noah Gragson. Cindric's up there, so is Haley. Good day going for Myatt Snyder and Harrison Burton. All those cars scored inside the top 10. Pit road is open, and just as we expected. Just north of 70 laps to go, and here they come for those tires, Jamie.
And Austin Cindric said he wanted more of what they did earlier, and that was an air pressure adjustment. Likes the direction they have been going. A 4-tire stop for him. Brandon Jones in the 19 lacks security on entry when he's braking, and he's also still a little bit too tight. They're going to make another wedge adjustment there, and the last set of sticker tires going on now, Regan.
Justin Haley in the 11 car, bottom left of the screen. He can't finish the corner like he wants to. The right front of that car not working perfectly for him right now. And the 8 car of your leader on the bottom right hand of the screen, Josh Berry, that car is just a little too tight center. Needs some drive off as well.
Pit road so difficult at Martinsville, but you can win or lose a race here, and great execution by the 18, keeping Berry out front. Cindric right behind him. Ty Gibbs and Brandon Jones each jump a spot. The final set of tires is on. Everybody's good on fuel. It's time for a run to the checkers. 70 laps remaining in Martinsville. Drivers have made their decisions on if they want to start in the high lane or the low lane, and this is going to be a very interesting restart because 6 cars stayed out. So those drivers that won the race off pit road, they're not in control of the race. Front row, Bailey Curry is up there, and so is Stephen Parsons. You got Buford up there as well.
68 laps to go. Going to be some excitement here.
You know, and if you're Barry, Cindre, Ty Gibbs, Brandon Jones, you have to just be careful of weaving your way through these guys. You know, that's going to be the big thing, is saving your car.
Big jump for Curry. That's Parsons right behind him. And you have to go about 4 rows back to find Josh Berry, who pulls out of line and driving hard to the inside in that 8 car. Ty Gibbs is right there with him.
There's that 3 wide Ryan's been talking about. You don't see it often here, but when you do, you want to see it.
Cindric was second off pit road, but he has gotten caught up and in the middle of the mess on this restart.
You know, he chose the top, which I was a little surprised at, because if you have slower cars, they're just going to get bumped out of the way and move to the top. So he's doing his best to move the cars on the top out of the way in front of him, because that's really the only place he can go. Can't get down to the bottom.
Hemrick has worked his way back to the top 10.
Hemrick's car is really good, even with the damage. He's been able to march forward that last run. So see if it goes green here, if he's able to make a lot of ground up.
Curry led a couple of laps, but no match for Josh Berry. 8 back out front with 64 laps to go, and he brings Ty Gibbs with him.
There's Ty Gibbs again, showing up. What's his average finish? 1.5 or something? 2? And he's padding that stat currently. We'll see if he can give the 8 car a run for his money.
Top 2 cars have like 15 combined career starts in the Xfinity Series. Maybe more than that, might be 20, 25, but it's not many.
Contact there.
Just a little bit. These guys have been racing the heck out of each other. Austin just can't get down. He's been stuck on top. Everyone's lined up below him. That's frustrating right there, when you just cannot get clear on the bottom and you can get back in a rhythm.
It's a double whammy too. Like you're killing your tires out there and you're trying to get down, so you know it's hurting everything. All the possibilities of you getting back in line and being able to take care of your stuff faster.
Jeb Burton making a little bit of a comeback. He had fallen outside the top 10. He still is. But right behind his teammate Justin Haley, they are 9th and 10th on track now. They've found a position inside the top 10 as Cindric falls in line behind him. He's finally gotten to the bottom lane, his Cindric, but unfortunately for him, he finds himself in 11th. And a reminder, as we hit 60 to go, coming up 4 p.m. Eastern time, right here on FS1, the conclusion of the Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief 500 for the Cup Series. Ryan and Austin ready to get behind the wheel and finish things off. Over 400 laps to go.
You know, this is still a decent run. You know, we went green with, 65 laps to go. You're still going to have to save some of your tires. You know, you can't just go all out right here. You're going to have some for the end, but at the same time, you can't lose complete touch and pace with the front pack. You know, so you have to be mindful, but you don't want to give up too much in saving your stuff, because you won't make up all that time.
Yeah, this place, more than any place, I feel like, has a light switch. If you ruin those tires, you can go backwards in a hurry.
Longest green flag run in this race, 22 laps. And the 11 cautions we've had today matches what we had the entire race in the fall. And this is for the lead. Ty Gibbs has worked his way to the front, to the inside, and out front he goes as he passes Josh Berry.
That car looks so strong right now. It just does whatever he wants it to do. It cuts well, gets in the corner well. I mean, he's done a good job adjusting, I think, and the sun is kind of played into his car's handling.
I mean, this kid's incredible. 18 years old, his 3rd career start. He's now led in every race that he's been a part of in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Coming in, average finish 1.5.
You know, and if I'm Josh Berry here, it's like, all right, you know, the 54 is better than me right now. Let me just try to chill out a little bit, see if this run goes long, because I can't hold him off right now, and save my stuff. Maybe his car will start fading. So it's not the end of the world for Josh Berry. You just can't lose too much touch, but, you know, 55 more laps to go. That's a long run, and you never know what can happen.
Cindric trying to work his way back through after getting trapped in that outside lane. Let's listen in on the race leader.
Job. Now you just got to take care of it here. Probably thinks he's going to let you go and let you burn your stuff up. Prove him wrong. Take care of it.
Yeah, that's, you know, a really good audio right there. You know, Josh Berry, he's a smart short track racer. He's a great short track driver for Junior Motorsports. He knows what he's doing. So he might, you know, be thinking that what I just said of you know, just kind of taking care of your stuff, maybe letting Ty wear his stuff out a little bit. But Ty's a good driver. He can definitely do this and take care of his tires and brakes too.
And we all know it's much harder being the guy leading. When you have a rabbit like Josh Berry has in front of him with the 54, you can be more consistent. You can take advantage of what you see the other guys doing.
I just go back to that road course race at Daytona. We just kept waiting for Gibbs to make a mistake. He had Cindric behind him there, and even though his car was damaged, we know how good Cindric is at road racing, and Gibbs never did make the mistake. Got aggressive on that final restart and was able to get the lead, and then it was over. So while you would say at 18 and never being in this position before, it's going to be tough to finish it off, but it's kind of the opposite. He appears to be a really strong finisher.
And to do that at such a young age with not a ton of experience, that's really impressive, and he has a bright future for sure.
$50 laps to go here, and we all know the impact of the pandemic on youth sports has been significant. And while recovery has started in some communities, kids most in need are still on the sidelines. Visit goodsports.org to learn how you can help Fox Sports and Good Sports restore play for at-risk youth and the programs that serve them through donations of brand new sports equipment. How much do you want to hear from your spotter in this situation? Because you got a guy right behind you. If you're Ty Gibbs, you're working through the lap traffic. Do you want to keep it as quiet as possible, or do you need that leadership and guidance?
I mean, I want him to give me good information that kind of tells me what's going on around me. If he feels like someone's beat me on entry, or if I'm overdriving the entry, that's pretty good information. But other than that, it needs to be quiet and just be focused.
I'll tell you who's been fast and putting down some good lap times. The 9 is coming pretty good. I feel like his car's gotten decent. He's had to come from further in the back, but his lap times look pretty good. So you got to keep an eye on that 9 car here late in the race. And you got Harrison Burton right behind him. These guys race for $100,000. So that's definitely another race within the race to watch.
Added incentive. And neither one of those drivers have won this season, which is kind of surprising, really, when you think about the success they had a year ago. Harrison was the Rookie of the Year and won right here at Martinsville. And we have a spin as the battle for the lead was on. The 36 is Alex LeBay. Caution is out for the 12th time with 46 remaining, and that might have saved Ty Gibbs for the time being.
Man, I was looking forward to that thing going green to the end. You're really going to see cars coming and going. Who was going to save their stuff enough? We'll still have a decent run to the end here as we look how he got turned around.
Three wide typically is not going to work out. Snyder went down to the inside. Godovick in the 26 was the man in the middle. LeBay was running in the 17th position here.
Your middle. Stay in it here, stay in it.
There's a lot going on right there.
Let's hear what they're saying for Josh Berry and his group with 44 to go.
So close. Yep, he is still the leader. Man, by inches. He fired off a little looser there, but it was better on the longer run because of that.
What's the over-under on number of cautions the rest of the way?
There's going to be some, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, there'll be some. Me personally, I don't want to see any. I want to see this thing go and have some decent runs to the end here. But, you know, cautions breed cautions is what they say.
I want to know who the favorite is. I mean, we got Ty Gibbs up there. Josh Berry behind him, and we were talking prior to the caution about the run that Noah Gregson is on. You can't write off Brandon Jones, who was leading when the red flag hit the other night. Harrison Burton is up there. Maybe Austin Cindric gets back some of that position now that we've got the caution. What do you guys think here as we're going to have the restart with right around 40 to go?
I'm going to take the 8 car. I think Josh Berry. Oh, were you
Darn
going to
it,
take the 8
I was
car?
going there too.
That's why I talked first. I think Josh Berry looked really good right there. Obviously, it's not going to be a, continuous of a green flag run, but your tires are worn. So I think he did a good job of maybe backing down, saving his stuff, and you saw him just about to make his move. So I got the 8 car, and I think Josh Berry gets his first Xfinity win.
Yeah, and his experience as a short track racer, he said it. He fired off free, and the track was just coming to him, and he took care of his stuff. I feel like he's in a good place. And some of those guys charging from back. Noah looked good too. Both the junior motorsports cars right now are starting to roll forward as we see the rubber lay down, and the sun obviously is still on the track.
I've got to say we've got all of our wardrobe bases covered here. I mean, I went with a sport coat. Austin had on the vest and just the shirt and tie for Blaney.
I mean, I'm running out of clothes, man. I've been here for 3 days. I'm out of clothes. I didn't wash these, so I'm not going to lie to you, but I didn't sweat the other night, so hopefully I don't smell too bad.
I mean, it's kind of a role reversal. You got on the cowboy boots and the buckle, and it's Austin that normally has on the hat. So anyway,
he looks.
I still got boots on.
He took his jacket off, but he's got a nice 3-piece.
I wore
suit.
the vest so my tie wasn't short this time.
When Austin showed up Friday, I thought he was going to the prom, But anyway, good 3-piece suit there. You look nice, Austin.
Thank you, Double A.
Let's do a little baseball promo here. I know you guys like a little baseball. Blaney told me a couple of weeks ago he likes the Indians. I know Austin likes the Braves. Tomorrow on FS1, it's a battle in the NL Central. The Cubs get the Brewers, and all the action starts 7 Eastern on FS1, and it's also on the Fox Sports app. Should be right after NASCAR Race Hub at 6. A full recap of what happened here at Martinsville today. Ty Gibbs, we talked about him being the race leader here. What a start to his career. Won on the road course at Daytona in his first ever start. And I talked about how aggressive he was on the restarts, and Ryan, you've mentioned this as well. This was unreal.
Yeah, I mean, that move through the dirt, grass, whatever you want to call it, I'm happy it was dry down there because he made that move stick and obviously went on to win that race. Did a great job, running second at Phoenix earlier this year, had a shot at Austin Cindric at the end, and he's in another great position to win again today.
Only 6 drivers have won in their debut race, and when you look at all the drivers that have done it beyond Ty Gibbs, they had Cup experience. They had won at the Cup level. He just comes out of the gates at 18 and said, look what I've got to offer. And man, has he been impressive in backing it up ever since. Restart, 40 to go. The front row, Gibbs and Berry.
Berry spun tires a little bit. Ty got a great jump. We'll see if Josh can roll the outside here. That's going to be tough, though. I'll be curious to see if he can get down anytime soon, and as he does right there.
A strong run off of turn 2.
I mean, we said Gibbs is aggressive, but if the 9 gets up there, he might be able to match him in that category. We know Noah is willing to go get it, and you mentioned the fact that he's going for $100,000. So is Harrison Burton in the 20. Great battle there for the dash for cash.
That's going to be a couple to watch right there. Not only for the race win, but for that $100,000. People get pretty mean when a bunch of money's on the line, I'll tell you that.
There's nothing like racing for a big, big paycheck.
Hey, and Cindric's coming on. Used that outside lane to get around Haley, and then Haley got him from behind and shoved him. This is really good stuff for 6th.
The give and take has went out the window here. You can see it. The aggression is everywhere on the track.
These two still aren't done with each other. They're racing like crazy for that 6th spot.
I couldn't tell if Haley got on the curb there or maybe a bump from him.
Bumper, he's there. He's there.
It's so hard.
Bumper, still there, quarter, bumper, clear, 3/4 ahead, 3/4.
I would not want to be a spotter at this place.
I wouldn't either, because you're probably going to get yelled at once or twice by your driver, and you're probably going to get yelled at 3 or 4 times by a spotter. Yeah.
Look, 14th, George Gorham Jr. driving that 90 for Mario Goslin. Had never been in an Xfinity car prior to today and doing an unbelievable job. And there's what happened when Haley got sideways. He kind of slid up into the 22 and then a little bump from behind.
They're working hard in there today. See a lot of wheel movement at a place that usually just hard left turns. Well, Ryan, we both chose the 8, and the 54 is doing a good job right now of holding him off. So,
yes, he is. Yes, he is, man. You can throw a blanket over the top 3, even top 5 here. They're all really close together, running pretty similar lap times. There's still 33 laps to go, though, so I'll be curious to see as we get these laps ticking off, more rubber gets laid down, brakes get hot, tires get hot, who's going to rise to the top.
And you got to believe they're going to run down some of these slower cars, so lap traffic could be a factor before this thing is over with. Here's the other thought. Not only the Dash for Cash and the payoff today, but whoever wins it plus 3 others going to make themselves eligible for Talladega in a couple of weeks. So that's a big story to follow as we round out this afternoon's event at Martinsville.
Josh Berry starting to put the pressure back on him. A couple little shots. Hey, I'm here. He's just rolling the middle so good. He can get in the corner fast, but rolling the middle really good. But where he's catching Ty Gibbs in the middle, Josh is kind of rolling the curb, which is great for center speed, but your exit is not as good. So when you're in this spot, if you're Josh Berry, as he locks up left front, really getting in the corner hard, you kind of make contact at a bad point. Like, you know, when he bumped Ty there, it's kind of just bouncing each other back. It's not helping him get a run.
There's nothing more frustrating to having a car that you feel like is better, but a guy that just parks the center and holds you up, because like Ryan said,
there he goes.
You can hit him in the, okay, he just
really hit him right there.
Yep.
And this is for the lead. Berry to the inside of Ty Gibbs. The 8 is back out front as we hit 28 laps to go.
Oh,
and Gregson right there as well.
I think Ty tried to get back to him there, and Berry got in the corner pretty good.
It's a good race right now. It's what you want to see. Tires starting to wear out, getting slick.
Now keep in mind, the 8's going for his first career win. The 9 is going for his first win of the season, and they are teammates at Junior Motorsports. Gregson got his first NASCAR win here, 2017, in the Camping World Truck Series, driving for Kyle Busch.
You see Gregson really slide the back of the car off 2. That's showing he's on the gas really hard. Trying everything he can to get to that 8 car. And you watch the 8. He's nice and smooth right around the curb. He knows what he's doing around here. He's run plenty of races. So we'll see if Noah can really push his car to run him down.
Last time around, the 8 was quicker, a 20.90 to a 21.21. And Berry has been very consistent with the lap times. It speaks to how good that car is. And the other thing I would say, give a lot of credit to Taylor Moyer, because if you remember when we first went green today, that car drifted a little bit. They have adjusted to the sunshine, and the car appears to be in as good a place right now as it has been since we started racing on Friday night, as Hemrick picks up one more spot. He's now 6th in the 18.
The 8 car loves what he's seeing back there. The 54 putting a little pressure on the 9, and he's just focused on hitting good lap times. You can tell that Josh is in a really good rhythm right now and taking care of his stuff as he's leading this race.
I'll tell you who's quick, that 18 car.
Yes.
He just needed to, he might need another caution to everything, reset and line up there, but he is coming really fast, putting down amazing lap times right now, faster than our leader, and he's passing cars. So we'll see how far Hemrick can get up here.
Quite a rally here, Jamie.
It really is. Last time he was in a car at this racetrack was in a Cup car in 2019. He ran top 12 and told me then it all clicked. That whole rhythm thing made sense to him, and he's had it today, guys, but you see that damage. It doesn't seem to be affecting the car right now, but he just said about 10 minutes ago he feels like his throttle is sticking a little bit. Not a major concern, but it's certainly on his mind.
That's not a fun feeling here, I bet.
That's a Joe Gibbs Racing train right there. 3rd is Gibbs, Fourth is Jones. Not for long as Hemrick goes by, but they are teammates. And right behind him, Harrison Burton. Really good day for JGR.
Don't look now, Adam, but the leader has caught traffic too. There's a good bump there from the 22.
We said it was going to be a factor. Here he is driving around Timmy Hill. Josh Berry going to see 19 to go as he comes off turn 4 this time.
That 11 and 22, they can't get away from each other. They've been beside each other since the last caution.
Is there going to be a heated conversation when this race is over? I mean, there seems to be a decent amount of disagreement on the racetrack.
There might be one or two.
I think I'd like to be a cameraman in the garage.
This place is so interesting because, you know, you saw the 8 and the 9 past Ty Gibbs, like he burned his stuff up, and then they're not really driving away from him. Like Ty kind of calmed down, cooled his stuff off, and he's just keeping pace with these guys, which it's just crazy how this track, you know, your tires can go away, but you chill out for 10 laps or so, and then bam, you're right back into it. This place is so wild when it comes to that stuff.
Hey, let's give credit where credit is due. A.J. Allmendinger, one of our drivers going for the Dash for Cash, had the issues on Friday night. Unscheduled pit stop, goes 2 laps down. Get back on the lead lap, try to fix the car, go back a lap down. He has not only gotten the free pass on multiple occasions, but now rides in 13th. If they could somehow sneak a top 10 out of this race, that would be so impressive for him and everybody involved with that 16.
Yeah, talking to Chris Rice leading into this, the bolt had come out of the sway bar, and he's just running without a sway bar right now. He just decided to not try and fix it and get it off the track.
By the way, happy birthday, Chris Rice, celebrating here today. Maybe not with a win, but his team doing okay. As Hemrick goes around teammate Ty Gibbs, the 18, now third. He might be a player, and the next guy he has to pass, oh yeah, it's Noah Gragson.
Daniel Hemrick is so fast right now. Watching his lap times, it's crazy. And he's passing cars, and his line is really neat too. He's fading way up in the middle of the corner and angling down really straight and just standing on the gas. So his car is working really great to be able to do something like that.
Cindric coming on strong late too. It was by Harrison Burton. That's for 6th.
We're going to see a race for the lead here, I feel like, in the next couple laps. Traffic is playing into this for a great finish.
If you're Barry, are you pacing yourself here, taking care of your equipment? A decent little advantage, almost a second over Gragson right now.
I think so. You know, Tab Boyd's his spotter. I feel like he's giving him good information on gaps. That's something I always like to know. If I'm leading or whatever, gaps out back. If it's a second, whatever it is, just so you kind of know how to gauge, you know, how you're running and saving your stuff. So I think he is just keeping a little bit in the tank just in case, you know, we do get a late race caution. But I think they're having that communication on how far back second, third is. And if I need to pick it up a little bit, they'll let me know. But right now, I think he's just saving some time.
Reminder, the last time we raced 2 weeks ago, Noah Gragson, Daniel Hemrick got in a fight after the race on pit road. They went almost 2 full weeks without talking to each other. Finally, they exchanged words on a phone conversation Friday night. Maybe it was Thursday evening when they eventually talked prior to Friday's race. They agreed to disagree, and now they are second and third with 10 laps to go, and Gragson in the 9 has $100,000 on the line. Here's a reminder of what happened at Atlanta. This was the pit road incident that got Hemrick upset, and then he went over and let Noah.
That was my favorite part right there. That dodge, that was impressive.
So they were pulled apart, and now they're racing for the runner-up position. How aggressive will Hemrick be?
And the 9 car started to search around a little bit. He's starting to fade up in the middle of the corner. He did it there through 3 and 4 pretty good. Almost like what Hemrick was doing. I'm sure they're telling him where the 18's running and why he's so fast. I think as we have some Hemrick audio.
He's going to do the same thing. Your drive off strong. He's going to try to park the curb and kill your momentum and not let you slide. It's all about timing.
The 18 keeps moving up in the corner and getting that big runoff that Ryan's been talking about, but I think he's starting to fade just a touch, and the 9 changing his line has helped him out a bit.
Hey, watching these two race so hard, really good for Josh Berry, who's putting some distance between himself and this battle for second with 6 laps to go.
Yeah, and you're starting to see the center of the corners get black, get the rubber down on it, and that's really what it is coming down to as well. This is probably one of the longer runs we've had today. So that fade up and get your left sides in the rubber, it usually kind of helps that out.
Hey, just in front of Josh Berry here, the 52, that red and yellow car, Gray Gaulding, you see him smoking. We understand there could be some type of fluid coming off of that car. Will that be a factor? As we'll see 4 laps to go this time around. And a reminder of the story of Josh Berry. He's 30 years old. He comes from Tennessee, a lifelong late model racer for Junior Motorsports, but got an opportunity to run some Xfinity races at the beginning of 2021. He's done himself well, but never been in a position like this. He knew Martinsville as a place where he could capitalize because he had so much late model experience here. Good late model experience where he has won. And now he is just 4 laps away from his first career victory.
He's done such a good job all race long of making adjustments, taking care of his car, and now he finds himself in a great position with 3 to go.
It's going to be 2 laps here. 1 mile away from the checkers. And right behind him, a driver trying to win $100,000 via the Dash for Cash. That's his teammate Noah Gregson in the 9. Here's Berry through turns 3 and 4. He's going to see the white flag this time around. 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
Noah's a little bit closer than I thought he was going to get. A little bit nervous, but Berry had a good exit right there, and I think he's got it made. But a really good job by that whole 8 team today. Made their car better and better, and it showed up at the end.
Josh Berry, welcome to the club. You are a winner in the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
That's right, Josh Berry. Hell yeah!
Man, I'm so glad to get you guys at victory lane. Y'all freaking deserve it. Y'all had a...
That's awesome. Congratulations to Dale Jr. I know he put a lot into this and wanting Josh to be in this car.
And there's Taylor Moyer, the crew chief, who's worked with so many different drivers the last few seasons. He gets to go to victory lane as well. That is awesome. Gregson hangs on for second. He wins the Dash for Cash. Hemrick was 3rd. Ty Gibbs is 4th. Brandon Jones rounds out the top 5. Josh Berry, at 30 years old, gets his first career win in his 13th start, and he does it at Martinsville. Thanks, Rob. The PBA Bowling U.S. Open coming up 2 p.m. Eastern Time on FS1. We're all done in Martinsville with the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and it was worth the wait for Josh Berry. He is a winner. Regan?
He is a winner, Adam. Very emotional. A lot of noise from the fans here, Josh. You, in your 13th career start, limited season this year, you are an Xfinity Series winner now. I guess they like me here. Oh my gosh. I have so many people I could thank. I could be here till tomorrow morning that's helped me get here. And just Dale, LW Kelly, everybody for believing in me. Everyone on this 8 team. Man, they've been through a lot the last couple years. Had a ton of different drivers, and man, I wanted to win so bad for these guys. Taylor and that whole group, they're such a great group. And man, I knew this would be a good opportunity to win, but Taylor called a perfect race, and the car was good, and we just kept tweaking on it. The tires were pretty wore out there at the end. I was struggling a little bit with wheel hop, kept going back and forth on the brake lever, trying to help it on one end, and but that's big. Man, just I gotta say so hi to all these. My dad, this is like half my late model team. There's a bunch of them at home watching. All our partners, Tire Pros, Chevrolet Accessories, Filter Time. Man, this is just unbelievable. Josh, I've known you most of your career. You have been a grinder. You've been in the late models for a number of years. You finally get this opportunity to make the most of it. What do you think this says to all the short track racers across the country about perseverance and continue to give it everything you got? Man, this is for all those guys. There's a ton of them out there that are like me, that have won here and all these great short tracks around here. We can do it. We just need the opportunities. Today proved it. Yeah, it's a short track, but it's still damn hard to win here, and we did it. Congratulations, Josh. Jamie?
Well, his teammate Noah Gragson went over and congratulated him. But Noah, best run for you this season. And on top of that, you're the Dash for Cash winner, $100,000. How good was this run for this team today?
Well, first off, I want to say congratulations to my teammate Josh Berry. You know, I'm a big fan of his, and it's really humbling to be able to be on the same racetrack as him. And you know, he's a legend in short track racing. So I really wanted to win there. I just couldn't get. I was having to protect the bottom to keep the guys behind me from moving me out of the way. So I couldn't open up my arc the way I needed to and kind of make speed with that. But overall, very thankful for Johnny Morris and everybody at Bass Pro Shop, Rusty Sellers. We're going turkey hunting on Tuesday, Rusty, so be ready. Been practicing my shotgun shot, but Matt and Evan at Black Rival Coffee, they got me amped up this morning. But $100,000 richer, Jamie. I'm pumped up. Great 1-2 finish for our team at Junior Motorsports, and just very thankful to be racing in front of all these amazing fans. It's really refreshing to see people back in the grandstands.
Congratulations. Noah Gragson brings it home second, Adam.
A great day for Noah, and the celebration continues, and we understand Josh Berry is talking to car owner Dale Jr., who, oh, by the way, was the last driver to win in the 8 car in the Xfinity Series. It happened 15 years ago, and he gets one of those, a grandfather clock. What a special day for Josh Berry, and I love the emotion. You just cannot beat a first-time winner. So Josh Berry gets the win, and the first thing I want to come to you guys with is the fact that he didn't forget where he came from. The first thing he did is recognize all those late model drivers that maybe have never had the chance to race on this stage.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, that's where Josh comes from. That's what he's done, you know, a lot of his career, most of his career, and it's a great opportunity he got. You know, drove for Dale Jr., is still driving for Dale Jr., you know, on late model side, and for Dale to give him an opportunity, you know, he deserves it. I mean, he's done and won every championship at all racetracks around the short track world, and it's cool to see someone like Josh, you know, get a great chance and make the most of it.
What I love to see is his friends and family in the stands, all the fans that are cheering him on. He brings a family to the track, and you can really see how much he's loved out there, and he's just pumped, man. It's a great win. Like he said, it's hard to win at Martinsville, and congratulations to Josh and Junior Motorsports.
And he was really good in the season opener at Daytona. Had never been in the draft before. Next up in 2 weeks, we go to Talladega. he's eligible for the Dash for Cash, so he could back this up and go win $100,000. That's a nice little payoff as well.
A nice little 2 weekends for sure. But, yeah, it's something that, he hasn't done much was the Speedways. And like you say, did good at Daytona. I'm sure he'll be good at Talladega. As you see Josh Berry, Noah Gragson, Daniel Hemrick, Brandon Jones in the Dash for Cash at Talladega. And you never know what can happen at Talladega. So I'm looking forward to that one here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, when you're going for $100,000 at Talladega, you'll do anything. You'll do anything it takes to win a race. And I think it will become probably a winner that takes home that $100,000.
It's now time for the two of you to change your uniform. 4 o'clock Eastern time on FS1 is when the Cup Series hits the track again. What should we expect? Because much like this race, conditions going to be different today than what you guys experienced last night.
Well, yeah, they're going to be different. It's a lot hotter today, just in general, and the sun's out, so track temp's going to be up. It's going to lay more rubber down. Like you saw, they laid a pretty good amount of rubber down there that last run, and we're going to be starting on that, which is nice. I'd rather start on a track that's rubbered up than a green racetrack because you get more of an idea of what it's going to do right away.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of guys coming and going today trying to keep up with the track conditions throughout the race.
Make sure you hydrate, fellas. As you said, it's going to be a hot afternoon. Great job in the booth. Good luck in the race car. We'll see you next time, okay?
Thank you guys for having me. Fans watching, thanks for sticking around. Make sure you stick around also for the Cup race here coming up in a couple hours.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
The fun is just beginning from Martinsville. We've wrapped up our NASCAR Xfinity Series race where Josh Berry has been able to get the win. And today at 4 o'clock, the conclusion of the Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief 500 Cup race from Martinsville. At 2 p.m., it's PBA Bowling's U.S. Open. That's going to do it from here. I'm Adam Alexander. Let's go to Radioactive.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.